Welcome to the second episode in a Legendarium series about vampires through the ages. In part 2, Cursed by the Gods, we will talk about vampire myths among the Greco-Romans. Ancient Greece is regarded by many scholars as the birthplace of Western civilization. Philosophy, art, and modern democracy are products of this ancient society. Yet the Greco-Romans remained as superstitious as any throughout history. Ancient Greeks lived in terror of three monstrous creatures of the night: Empusa, Lamia, and Strigas. Empusa was the daughter of the infamous Hecate, the Greek goddess of magic, necromancy, and crossroads. In some myths, she is said to be a blood drinker herself. Empusa was described as a demonic creature with bronze feet and an insatiable hunger for the blood of young men. Many Greeks believed that the horrific Empusa transformed herself into a lovely young woman and seduced young men before slaughtering them and drinking their blood. By doing so, perhaps the ancient Greeks sought to frighten young men away from women of easy virtue. Not only did they develop their own folklore around vampires, but they took creatures from the myths of nearby peoples. Upon making contact with the Near Eastern nations, who believed in the she-devil Lamatsu, the Greeks created their own classic demoness named Lamia. Unlike the divinely born Empusa, Lamia's origins are more human and far more tragic. Lamia, the daughter of King Belos, became the most beautiful woman in the known world. Her beauty attracted the eye of the ever-womanizing chief god Zeus. When Hera, the ever-jealous wife of Zeus, discovered her husband's affair with Lamia, Hera slaughtered all of Lamia's children in vengeance. When Lamia discovered the slaughter, her hatred for Hera burned so bright that she resolved that if she could not have her children, then no woman would. Lamia metamorphosized into a beast which devoured the flesh and blood of young children. Amulets crafted to defend against Lamia have been found from modern-day Iran in the east to Italy in the west. Belief in Lilith and Lamia-type demons persisted up to the medieval period. Aramaic, Ethiopian, and of course Greek texts speak of baby-snatching demons that could only be fended off with incantations and amulets that invoked supernatural powers. Finally, the Strigas, like the Lamia, feasted upon the flesh and blood of young men. The Strigas had the bodies of monstrous giant black birds and may have inspired the Romanian vampire called the Strigoi. Blood-drinking spirits also appear in Homer's epic The Odyssey. Odysseus sacrificed a black ram as he entered Hades. The shades that dwelled in the Greek underworld could only communicate with the living after drinking the blood of a ritually sacrificed animal or human. According to a Greek myth of the Alexandrian era, the brothers Agrios and Oreos were Thracian half-men, half-bears of great size and strength. They acted violently and insolently towards both gods and men, and in the greatest taboo, they feasted upon human flesh. This incurred the wrath of Zeus, but their mother saved them by transforming both her sons and herself into birds, often depicted as owl-like creatures called strigoi. A belief in evil bird demons persisted into the Roman era. During Rome's ascendancy in the Balkans, the Dacian kingdom posed a major threat. In fact, an alliance led by Dacia's King Decebalus twice defeated Roman armies. Early in the 2nd century AD, however, Emperor Trajan prevailed and made the region a province. Dacia, as the Romans now called it, enjoyed great prosperity and attracted droves of Roman colonists looking for new land. They mixed with the Dacians, taught them Latin, and begat the ancestors of modern-day Romanians. Quite possibly, the Romans brought their fear of the undead with them, along with methods for dealing with them. The Roman physician Quintus Serenus Simonocius, who lived during the 3rd century AD and served under the Roman Emperor Caracalla, described garlic as an efficient method to ward off the bird demons called Strix in Latin. Curiously, he also noted that garlic fended off mosquitoes. However, the only way to completely slay the owl-like monster was to decapitate it and place the head between its talons. Going into late antiquity, a belief in demons and the undead led to strange new burials in Roman-ruled Eastern Europe. During these gruesome funerals, mourners decapitated dead bodies and placed severed heads by the feet. Additionally, people sometimes pierced the chests of the dead with stakes or placed magical amulets in their tombs to prevent the dead from rising. A 10-year-old child buried during the 4th century AD had a stone placed in his mouth to prevent him from eating the flesh or drinking the blood of the living. Similar beliefs would persist into the Middle Ages, which followed the fall of Rome. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.